Whenever people talk about the best character in Dragon Ball, Goku is almost always second to Vegeta, despite him being better than Vegeta in almost every single way, except for one thing. And you can probably guess what that is: character development. When it comes to Vegeta and Goku, people always say that Vegeta is a better character because he has character development. But the craziest thing is, this line of reasoning doesn't hold up when we talk about other shows. Like Johan, for example, arguably the greatest antagonist in all of anime and manga, and possibly the best character in Monster, doesn't have character development. When you hear people talking about characters like Johan, Aizen, Luffy, when they explain how great these characters are, you hardly ever hear them talking about their character development. So why does this line of thinking only applies to Dragon Ball? With that being said, I wanted to make a response to this video talking about why Vegeta is better than Goku. Before we get into today's video, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, ExpressVPN. If you're just like me, I know you guys just want to browse the internet without having to worry about these hackers trying to steal your information, right? And if you guys didn't know, every time you connect to an unencrypted network, hackers on that same network are able to steal your personal information quite easily. And also, these network service providers, they're able to see everything that you're doing, whether you're browsing the internet, watching shows, whatever it is that you're doing, right? And going incognito is not going to help you. So the crazy thing is too, these network service providers are able to legally sell your personal information to these ad companies. So that's why you be seeing these crazy ads all over the place. So this is where ExpressVPN comes in. So with the benefits of ExpressVPN, you're able to relax knowing that you have reliable connections and top-rated high-end security features while your network is being encrypted from these hackers and these network service providers. My favorite thing about having ExpressVPN is you can connect to servers in over 90 countries, giving you access to content from all over the world. Whether you're a fan of anime, movies, TV shows, or sports, ExpressVPN can help you bypass geo restrictions and enjoy your favorite content from anywhere. So if you want to secure your internet today, you can go ahead and sign up with ExpressVPN. If you guys use my link down below, you guys get 3 months free. That's right, 3 months free. So what are you doing, bro? Like, go ahead and get that 3 months free, and yeah, you'll thank me later.
Vegeta, named after his father and home, was the prince of the Saiyans, but never really got to live the life of a royal. He was considered a prodigy at combat since birth, perhaps even one of the strongest of the Saiyans.
Nah, saying like that is crazy. I've heard Saiyan before, but not Saiyan. Like, why is so much emphasis on that, bro? But I digress. Let's go.
In one of his very first memories, he witnessed his father used as a footrest by Beerus, the god of destruction. Thus, facing humiliation and defeat for the first time, he realized how fragile the Saiyan pride was at the time.
Okay, one thing to know, he's including Dragon Ball Super's version of the Saiyan backstory, which is obviously why Beerus is there, but let's continue.
At a very early age, he was given up to Frieza, a conqueror who took over planets. The latter then forced them to obey his orders, threatening to kill his father otherwise. Sometime later, after he ignored a distress call from home, his planet was destroyed by the very Frieza who feared the hidden potential of the species. Despite the alleged end of his race, Vegeta remained unaffected. Thus, due to his rather disturbing history, he grew up doing the bidding of a tyrant. This resulted in him becoming a ruthless and violent person who cared not for any familial or friendly relations with anyone.
Okay, stop. If you think Vegeta was only the way he was because of Frieza's influence, then you have to rewatch the show. The Saiyans are an evil race of warriors, and fighting and destruction is literally ingrained in their DNA. Why do you think Vegeta told Goku he is not a true Saiyan? Saiyans before Frieza's reign were literally conquering planets, committing genocide, and selling planets off to buyers. King Cole just came along and capitalized off the Saiyans' inherent nature. It was that simple. This is who they are. So don't try to make it seem as if Frieza was the reason why Vegeta is the way he is. It's very misleading, and maybe there's an underlying agenda with Vegeta and trying not to blame him for like his actions that he committed. Maybe, I don't know.
Once he arrived on Earth, his comrade gave the Z-Fighters a hard time, but ultimately got driven back upon Goku's arrival. Seeing the weakness shown by his own comrade, Vegeta mercilessly ended him, deeming him unworthy. Initially surpassing Earth resident Saiyan, Goku's plot armor proved more resilient. Vegeta enviably was bested. The mighty prince's arrogance couldn't accept being defeated by a lower-class Saiyan and some insignificant Earthlings.
Goku's plot armor? Vegeta never lost to Goku, unless I'm missing something. Last time I checked, when Goku and Vegeta were in that beam struggle, that was Goku's final attack. That was his trump card. And it didn't work because obviously Vegeta used the, the Great Ape form. and crushed Goku, and it was his friends that came to his rescue and won. So like, where is this plot armor coming from? Like, I don't understand.
When forced to face off against Frieza's group, he initially suffered defeat. Later, he teamed up with the Z Fighters to win against their common enemy. And amidst the ongoing battles, he was awestruck when Goku appeared before him again, having improved in terms of raw strength by leaps and bounds. This was his first exposure to the fruits of training, something that he had never done before because of his natural gift at fighting.
Bro, you literally showed Vegeta training with Cyberman as a kid. How is this possibly the first time Vegeta is ever exposed to training?
Thus, for the very first time, he came out of his shell as the prodigy and realized just how much unlocked potential he had.
Now, Vegeta having unlocked potential is something I've never heard before.
Later, whilst battling against Frieza, he tried to repeatedly become a Super Saiyan, but failed. Eventually he was hit, and as he lay on the ground dying, he told Goku the history of the Saiyan people and about the Super Saiyan form, demanding that he kill the tyrant as only a Saiyan must defeat him. This in no way meant that he had magically gone to the good side. Goku defeating Frieza was essentially the best case scenario in his eyes, and just as he had predicted, Goku was the first to achieve that legendary form. Following the Z Fighters' victory, Vegeta was resurrected thanks to the Dragon Balls and began training in order to unlock his Super Saiyan form and surpass Goku. And it was during this time when he entered into a relationship with Bulma, and the two had a son named Trunks.
Basically, the majority of this video is just explaining Vegeta's life. I guess you could say like a Vegeta recap. Not really giving a case as to why Vegeta is better than Goku, but I guess.
In the aftermath of this battle, losing Goku, Vegeta decided to give up on fighting. He settled down, marrying Bulma, determined to be a better father and husband. He even began to train Trunks to be better than Gohan and Goten, the sons of his sworn rival. He showed concerns for his son's health, trained him, and proved to be a motivational figure for the boy.
I wouldn't say their rivalry, because in Dragon Ball Z, Goku and Vegeta were never really rivals. And I mean the textbook definition of rivals. This rivalry was really one-sided. Goku never paid attention to Vegeta after the Saiyan arc. Like, yeah, he trained with Vegeta in mind on the way to Namek, but once he landed and seen this, yeah, bro moved on. He was on to better things.
7 years later, with Goku's return from the World Tournament, we saw some of the development in his character revert. Vegeta once again showing the Saiyan competitiveness and aiming to exceed Goku. During their battle, Vegeta realized that his rival was still stronger of the two.
The crazy thing about this fight is that people really love it, but it didn't really do much for the story. It was just Vegeta having a temper tantrum because he realized that Goku was better than him.
He had found a new goal, a new form to achieve. The training continued, this time with the likes of Beerus and Whis. They took part in many more battles. Most notable amongst these was the fight against the resurrected Frieza. Throughout this time, he learned to let go of his past and the emotional baggage that he carried, as he had now changed and was able to fight more freely. Winning against Frieza and fighting for surviving Namekians also allowed him to overcome a huge portion of his traumatic past.
Vegeta having a traumatic past is something I thought I would never hear.
He kept on improving as a warrior, reaching higher levels of power. His rivalry with Goku was reawakened on a few occasions, for example during the fight against Granola. However, he never let himself get out of hand again. His friendship and team with Goku became stronger through their experiences. He finally grew to be at peace with who he was, and his family was his first priority. Whether you're looking for a warrior, a friend, a husband, a father, or a loyal civilian, you've got them all in one complete package in the form of Vegeta. A character that is truly appreciated by the viewers is the one who struggled through everything life threw at him and, in face of it all, rose up to the highest ranks in the world.
Okay, yeah, we agree. Vegeta had great character development, and that's cool. But life didn't put obstacles in Vegeta's way. He literally put them there himself. Think about that.
We see his complete growth mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and physically. From the tyrannical prince who just sought infinite power for himself to the dignified man, content to look after his family and friends, acting as a protector for the greater good of others. While we do see Goku grow up since infancy, at the end of the day, he is just a fighter with a lot of plot armor.
Oh my god. Man, talk about being disingenuous. And I knew this video had some sort of agenda, like I already knew from the beginning. He really tried to make Vegeta out to be something he really wasn't. And the only 2 times he mentioned Goku, he talked about him having plot armor. You cannot make this up. First of all, how does having plot armor make you a worse character? And what does that even have to do with this character? How does that make any sense? And dismissing Goku's character to being just a fighter is disappointing to me, honestly. And it definitely shows me the bias a lot of people have towards Vegeta and how a lot of people don't even know anything about Goku at all. Like, just imagine, this video is supposed to be giving a reason as to why Vegeta is a better character than Goku. It's over 9 minutes long and he only mentioned Goku twice. And the only time he talks about Goku's character is that he's just a fighter. If I were to make a video explaining why Goku is a better character than Vegeta, and I just give a recap of Goku's life instead of explaining what makes these things more compelling than Vegeta's character, and the only time I mention Vegeta, I say he's a midget with a temper tantrum and he's just mad because Goku is better than him, which essentially is Vegeta's character, unironically. But you guys will say that I'm being disingenuous, won't you? Exactly. And the craziest thing about all of this, Goku does have a lot of character development from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, but most people never watched Dragon Ball, so it's overlooked. But I agree with Vegeta having better character development than Goku, but that doesn't necessarily make him a better character. Me personally, I think Piccolo's character is better than Vegeta's. Argue with your mama. And you can argue them having the same amount of character development, and the only reason why Vegeta gets so much praise is because his is more fleshed out, for lack of a better term, and is not as subtle as Goku's and Piccolo's. But disrespecting Goku's character like that is criminal. To understand Goku's character, I think you have to read Dragon Ball. I don't really have time to go over Goku's character right now, nor do I want to make a video explaining his character. But one thing I find to be really compelling is the premise of the Red Ribbon Army arc. Goku starts off in search of the 4-star ball, something which his grandpa Gohan gave him before he passed, and the only thing he had to remember him by. So the search for the 4-star ball was completely selfish, and he lacked the basic understanding of morality as we see him brutally annihilating the entire Red Ribbon Army. He learns to do the right thing because he befriended Yupa, and he saw how the suffering of others affected him, and he wanted to make a selfless act by using the ball, which he came all the way here for, and killed all these men to revive Bora, Yupa's dad. And in return, he's rewarded with meeting his grandpa because of it. Man, this was indeed one of the best arcs in Dragon Ball. OG Dragon Ball, I should say, not Dragon Ball Z. And that's just one of the things that really highlights Goku's character, and one of the things that I find to be really compelling about his character overall. And while I think and that's one of the reasons I think he's the best character in Dragon Ball. There's a lot more than this. A lot of his character development, when he goes from, you know, brutally fighting these opponents and like wanting to kill the bad guys, to now seeing fighting as something different, as he just wants to fight stronger opponents, which is the entire theme of Dragon Ball. And that ties into Goku's characterization within all of Dragon Ball Z, which is something that I think will definitely put him over Vegeta, without a doubt. I think a lot of people overvalue these negative character arcs, especially like Vegeta's, going from bad to good, and not seeing like different types of character arcs can be more compelling, which is why people would have Vegeta over Goku. And basically what this entire video was about. It's very disingenuous in my opinion, but like, if that's something that you guys value, then there's nothing wrong with that. Valuing character development, I guess that's cool and all, but to say he is a better character than another person, but not even explaining why he is, but just giving a recap of his life and then dismissing Goku's entire character to being just a fighter, is not gonna cut it for me. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Do you guys think Vegeta is a better character than Goku? And if so, why? But yeah, if you guys like this video, if you guys want me to do more videos like these, like video responses of me giving my thoughts on, you know, certain things or videos and stuff like that, let me know. You know, tag me in videos, you know. I'll try to see if it's good enough. I'll give a reply to it. But yeah, it's your boy Gwilly, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one.